Boa tarde a todos, muito obrigada pela presença de vocês. Para quem não me conhece, meu nome é Natália Warga, eu trabalho na 3W, que é uma empresa que representa mais de 50 high school particulares americanas no Brasil. Eu trabalho na matriz da empresa, no escritório de Los Angeles. Nós temos também a Andrea Ciapone, que trabalha de São Paulo. Nós temos hoje aqui a presença do time da Cheshire Academy, uma boarding school em Connecticut, uma das boards mais antigas americanas. Eu vou passar agora, então, a apresentação para a Sarah. Ela vai introduzir o time dela. Sarah, if you can please introduce you. Oh, thank you.
My name is Sarah Lynn Leavenworth. I am Director of Admission at Cheshire Academy. I'm in my 3rd year at Cheshire Academy. And I've worked at boarding schools in Connecticut for many years. And Cheshire Academy is a fantastic place. And I'd like to introduce other members of my team who are participating today. To start with, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine D'Angelo. I'm an admission associate here, and I work with a lot of the international families, so I'm happy to be here today, and I would likely be the person you'd be working with on moving forward with us.
And Corey Dykeman.
Hello, everyone. I'm Corey Dykeman. I am the International Student Coordinator and the PDSO for CVIS here at Cheshire Academy. I'm in my 9th year here, and I live on campus with my family.
And Leo?
Hello, everybody. My name is Leo Leonardo Hertz. I'm from Argentina originally. This is my 15th year at Cheshire Academy, where I live with my wife and my 3 children. And I work as the Director of Young Alumni Engagement and Special Gifts. And some of the responsibilities that I've had at the Academy have included teaching, being an academic department chair, coach, dorm parent, you name it. So it's a pleasure to be here and to meet you.
And Sophia?
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm a Portuguese student at Cheshire Academy. This is my 4th year, and I live here with my family.
Thank you.
Sophia in Portuguese. You have to speak the language.
So we're going to start the tour of the presentation today with a small video of the school. And then we're going to have the Sarah Lee is going to do the school presentation with her team. And then Sophia also going to share with us her experience at school. I'm going to just say in Portuguese. Então, a gente vai ter a apresentação, né, da escola hoje. A gente vai iniciar com um pequeno vídeo de um tour pela escola, né? A gente vai ter a apresentação com o time da escola sobre os detalhes do programa, e também a gente vai ter o depoimento, né, da estudante de Portugal, Sofia. Então nós vamos iniciar agora com o vídeo da escola.
Welcome to Cheshire Academy. I'm Tara, a recent graduate.
And I'm Jackson, a local day student. Students from more than 19 states and 30 countries come to Cheshire Academy for its truly diverse learning environment, made up of many unique perspectives from around the world. And the journey for each student, and you, begins here, at the admission office.
Today, we'll take you around the CA campus, a school we both love and are proud to show off. On this quick tour of our 100-acre campus, we won't see it all, but we will meet a few people along the way who will highlight some of the programs and share their own insights into the Cheshire Academy experience.
The campus is located in the heart of Cheshire, Connecticut. This is a quaint New England town, centrally located in the state. We're just 2 hours by train from New York City and from Boston. The city of New Haven is nearby, and Hartford, the state capital, is just a short 30-minute drive. It's such a safe, walkable, and comfortable campus right in the middle of town. There are plenty of local stores, coffee and pizza shops, and restaurants to walk to. And the local police and fire departments are just right down the street. Let's take a look at where teaching and learning take place, in our academic centers, starting with one of our biggest and newest academic buildings, J.J. White. Approaching J.J. White is like being on a college campus, steps and columns and all. Inside, we have classrooms and labs for science and math, a tech center for our IT needs, a gallery space where students, faculty, and guest artists exhibit, and a lecture hall for class meetings, students' performances, award ceremonies, and even movie nights. We're now at the Humanities Building, which is full of life both literally and figuratively. A hub of activity, not just because English and history classes are taught here. This is also where you'll find the library, writing center, Roxbury Academic Support Program, academic offices, and this, the Community Forum. The Forum is a great open space where students and teachers can hang out, have lectures, small performances, and meetings, and it's just a great casual place to study or take a break with friends. We're here in the library, which of course is full of thousands of books, DVDs, databases, online resources, and equipment and games you can borrow. There's also amazing librarians who are always here to help, and a great school archive, which is chock full of history and artifacts.
On the lower level, students gather for group work, while the upper level offers a quiet place to study.
Woodbury Hall is home to our foreign language classes. Students can develop their language skills while also having the opportunity to learn about different cultures through special activities such as International Reading Day, special dinners, field trips, and cultural events.
Creativity flows within the halls and studio of our art center, where we have class and studio space for painting, drawing, ceramics, animation, digital photography, printmaking, and more. We also have clubs for the artists on campus, including a new filmmaking club that introduces its members to the trade and helps develop their skill set.
The performing arts is one of my passions. It's amazing what my classmates put together on stage, whether it's through music or drama. Our Black Box Theater gives every performer and aspiring actor a voice. We hold a fall play, winter musical, and spring student-led productions every year. Musicians and singers learn through private and small group lessons and showcase their talents in our jazz band, rock band, the 1794's a cappella group, and other ensembles and solo performances. There's always a musical performance by students and faculty at our weekly all-school meeting.
We're here on the grandstand of Samosa Field, the proving ground of our football, lacrosse, field hockey, soccer, and track and field teams. It can get pretty loud and crowded in these stands, especially when facing our top rivals. In addition to Samosa, our teams compete on Savigny and Slaughter fields, as well as the backfields, tennis courts, baseball and softball fields, and cross-country running trails. CA boasts over 20 competitive sports programs in 3 seasons for boys and girls. Cross-country, field hockey, football, soccer, and volleyball in the fall, basketball, fencing, and skiing in the winter, baseball, golf, lacrosse, softball, tennis, and track and field in the spring. Behind me is Mater Hall. Living and learning together, everlasting friendships are formed with students from all over the world that carry well beyond a boarding student's years at Cheshire Academy. While it's a lot like living at college, it's very much like home. With 65% of our faculty living on campus, there is always a faculty member present, serving as a dorm parent to provide support, guidance, or just a helping hand. Faculty live here with their own families and pets, making our dorms feel even more like a home. The Student Center is a perfect place for everyone to have fun, relax, and hang out during free periods and after school. There's plenty to do. There are air hockey and ping pong tables, video games on the big screen, and couches just to lounge around on. There's also a snack bar. When the weather's nice, students are outside playing games like spike ball or roasting marshmallows and s'mores at the fire pit. Thanks so much for joining us on this trip around the Cheshire Academy campus.
There's a lot more to see and a wonderful community for you to meet.
We can't wait to see you at Cheshire Academy.
So Sarah Lee will start the presentation in English. Andrea and I will do a little translation, just an overview every 10 slides. Então a gente vai agora começar a apresentar, a Sarah Lee vai começar a apresentação em inglês, e a cada 10 slides a Andrea e eu vamos passar um resumo em português. Sarah?
Cheshire Academy was founded in 1794. Yes, we are the 10th oldest boarding school in the United States with a very rich history. We're also one of the oldest boarding schools to enroll international students, I should say one of the first. So we have a rich history working with students from a variety of different countries. As the video spoke about, we're located in downtown Cheshire, Connecticut, which is a very safe city, or town rather. Recently voted the 28th best, safest city to live in, or town to live in the United States. Next slide.
We have about 340 students at our school. As the video mentioned, we have grades 9 through 12, and we also have a postgraduate year, which is like a gap year. We have a lot of international students. We're about a third international, and we have students from about 30 countries and 19 different US states. So a lot of different backgrounds. Our students come from all over, which is really interesting. Student to faculty ratio is quite small, just 6 students to 1 teacher. Over 100 courses. We are a school that offers the IB program, so we have 32 different IB courses that you can choose from. You can take one, you can take all that's in your 11th and 12th grade years. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. I think Sophia is taking some IB courses, so she can speak to that as well. And average class size is about 10. Our location is quite nice, especially for students who have to consider air travel. We're right in the middle between Boston and New York. It's just 2 hours train or drive from both cities, which is quite convenient for reasons of culture, museums, restaurants, travel, those things. And when you have to go home on a break, it's quite convenient to have those airports nearby. Our campus is quite large, about 100 acres or a half square kilometer. So it's sort of a nice balance of being in a town and having access to some things nearby, but also having nature, trees, grass, that sort of thing. We're about 20 to 30 minutes from New Haven, where Yale University is located, and our students can take advantage of having that so close by. So again, lots of culture there, theater, museums, shopping, restaurants, things like that. And then, as you probably know from Boston and New York, our area is a place with 4 distinct seasons. So we get to celebrate all 4 seasons. They're very distinct, and it's pretty in all 4.
This is an overview of our campus map. And what it shows is basically the entire layout of all of the buildings. We show this to you so you can get a sense of what the community looks like. While it may appear large, I will say that this area here, the turf field for athletics, walking from there all the way to over here is less than a 5-minute walk. We have dormitories here in the far corner up number 19 and over here, number 12, this area. These are dormitories for upperclassmen. Those are for older students. The building number 7 and number 9, those are very much our academic buildings. Next slide. As was mentioned, we are a school that offers the International Baccalaureate program, both classes for certificate and for full diploma. We do not offer the advanced placements. We have the IB in favor of advanced placements. We very much believe in the IB curriculum, a liberal arts curriculum with a global focus. We believe in the mindset of teaching the IB, that it is not teaching to a test, that very much students are pushed into skills for critical thinking skills, writing assessments, oral assessments, collaboration, problem solving. All of these things with their peers are very important, especially today in the workforce. What our professions are asking for students globally is what is taught in our IB program. And I'd like to ask Sophia, she has taken some courses. If you Sophia, maybe talk about some of the courses you've taken and what you see as the advantages of IB.
Todas as minhas aulas agora são IB, por isso são aulas que são desafiadoras, mas são muito interessantes para mim, e também há muitas classes que se pode escolher. Eu tomo agora inglês higher level, que é um nível que vai mais rápido e que lemos mais livros e coisas assim. História também tenho, HL, matemática eu tenho SL, que eu adoro o meu professor de matemática, ele ajuda-me imenso. Eu antes de vir a Cheshire Academy e antes de fazer estas aulas de IB, não gostava assim muito de matemática porque estava aborrecida e não queria estar na classe, mas com o IB ajuda-me imenso a tomar classes que são difíceis, mas também são muito interessantes e que ajudam muito para a universidade e coisas assim.
Thank you. Next slide. While we are an academically challenging school through our IB program, we also are known for offering a significant amount of support on all levels for students. We serve a wide range of students academically, and we're able to do so through all of our levels of support. Leo, would you speak to these different levels?
Sure thing. So would you rather I speak in English or in Argentine Spanish? Natalia?
I think English, that'll be
English?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I often talk about Cheshire Academy as a place, our mission is to challenge our students, and to challenge them in 3 particular areas when it comes to critical thinking, developing character, and developing confidence as well. And when I think of all those opportunities, we sort of ask kids to go ahead and take risks, right? And some of those risks, of course, intellectual and in some cases personal, as they exist in a community that is very rich and very diverse. The one contrasting element at the Academy is that we support them every step of the way. So when you look at what you have in front of you, when we talk about the advisory program, the extra help, the writing center, these are fully integrated into the daily life of both day students and boarding students. The advisory program is one where students, about a ratio of 1 teacher to 6 or so students, work together since the first day until the day they graduate. So the advisor will follow them and continue to grow in that relationship with each one of those students. We meet weekly. I happen to right now serve as an advisor as well, and I'm working with 6 students in the senior class. And there is a tremendous amount of program that is delivered through the advisors that comes from our advisory coordinator, and is both designed to work with classes as the 9th grade, the 10th grade, and so on individually, as well as for issues that encompass the entire community, the entire student body. Extra help is built into our daily schedule. Even now, at a time of adjustment, when we came up with a modified schedule for the times we live in, extra help is on the calendar every single day. And so that is a space for students to make sure that they can always not only access extra help from their own teachers, but also from any other teachers who may work in the same department. Oftentimes, until now, students to go ahead and seek help from somebody else in the department as well. So there's plenty of support on a daily basis on the calendar. The Writing Center also is beyond what you would say, a place where kids can just go and drop by and get a little help. Sometimes the Writing Center becomes a habit for certain students, and we can work directly with the folks that run the Writing Center in order to specifically address issues that children may have in a particular course, whether it be to learn the proper structure to write a lab for the chemistry class, or perhaps 3 to 5 paragraph essay for English class. It's covered in the Writing Center, which is open every day. The Math Lab similarly works as a learning center, available with a similar schedule and with hours that are accessible to students, as sometimes their class rotation may prevent them from attending on a particular day. We are intentional about making sure that every student has access should she need to go ahead and get this resource. And the Roxbury Academic Support Program is a tier program that is an add-on service. And the best way that I could describe it is we have instructors that work with students, sometimes one-on-one, sometimes a small ratio, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, and so forth, where students can come. And what Roxbury does in a nutshell is it allows students to find the best way in which they can learn. So the ultimate goal of this academic support program is one where the students can get out of it by the end and learn the executive function skills, the prioritizing, learning how to take notes, learning how to prepare for a test or a quiz, learning a variety of academic skills that perhaps without that, more focused and intentional approach could perhaps, a student could potentially not reach their full potential. So the academic, the Roxbury program, again, is designed for students to become independent and ultimately to go ahead and, be in the fully independent with the time to go to college or university, So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Okay. Next slide. Postgraduate program, Corey?
So yes, our postgraduate program. So as Christine had mentioned earlier, our postgraduate program is essentially a gap year. So this unique academic learning program is offered to students who have already graduated from high school and are not quite ready to move on to the college level. So it's an academic year of learning. It's an opportunity for students who want to continue to grow academically, to grow socially. Many of them do grow athletically. Our postgraduate students are able to participate in our athletics, which is wonderful. The majority of our postgraduate students do live here on campus. So for many of them, it's their very first experience living in a boarding school or in a boarding environment. So, what we offer, it's a very popular program. We have students from all over the world that have participated in this. And again, what they and their families are seeking is that extra year of improving their academic skills, building their academic portfolio, and learning, how to grow socially, how to live away from home, essentially, and to really hone on those life learning skills. Our postgraduates have a unique academic opportunity where they work very closely with our college counselors and our academic dean to put a schedule together that is robust and really gives them the opportunity to work towards being better prepared for college for their first year of school. There are 3 classes specific to our postgraduates that they're able to participate in that our other students are not. One is they are taking a college level English class. The other class that they get to take is a global issues class, which really dives into lots of things going on in the world. They have special attention to learning about finance and economics. They have several different opportunities to go off campus and to meet business people. A number of our postgraduates have connected with our alumni who are now in the business world, and they've spent time teaching the students about business and how they got there. So they're really they have this unique opportunity to really learn and grow. All of our postgraduates do participate in what we call PG Seminar, which is taught by our college counselors. And again, that PG Seminar, they meet twice a week, and it's just an intensive learning and growing opportunity, again, where our postgraduates get very special care to do what I had just mentioned, to learn about finance, to learn about the world outside, to get better prepared for college. Our college counselors, again, are the instructors, and they work one-on-one with our postgraduates to work through their college application process, to assist with their essay writing. A number of our postgraduates are athletes, as I had mentioned, and they are here for the academic piece to grow and learn, but also they are here to enhance their athletic skills. For instance, we've had football players, we've had soccer players, we've had basketball players come here who their desire is to play at the college level, whether that be Division I or Division II or III, but their desire is to go to college, to apply their academic skills, but they also want to play at that level. So this is another opportunity for them to gain that experience, to work one-on-one with our coaches of the teams that they're on, and to be recruited. All of our coaches are very hands-on with the recruiting process, and again, work with our college counselors. So it's a real team effort, and we've seen a lot of successful postgraduates stories. A lot of our postgraduates have gone on to play at the college level, and they definitely look back at that time and are so thankful to have had that opportunity, that extra year to get to where they want to go.
Okay, the college process. So college counseling is very comprehensive at Cheshire Academy, starting in the 9th grade year, and even if students come to us in 10th, 11th, or 11th grade, or even as a one-year 12th grader. We work very closely to make sure that each student has the same opportunities to develop a college list, a list that is very individualized. We have many, over, as you can see, over 165 college representatives on campus each fall. This year, in a COVID year, we're doing all of those visits virtually, but still giving the same exposure to our students to a wide variety of colleges. Next slide.
I'm going to do a summary in Portuguese. It's a lot of information, but I'm going to just give a highlights, and then we continue the presentation. Então, vou passar para vocês, né, um resumo em português. Eles passaram bastante informação da escola, né, iniciando pela localização, que tem uma localização privilegiada, que a escola está 2 horas de trem de Boston, 2 horas de trem de Nova York, né. Então, o estudante tem essa experiência também de oportunidade de visitar no final de semana, tá? É uma região dos Estados Unidos que eles falam, né, que as 4 estações são bem definidas. Então, o estudante vai ter a experiência da comida da época, dos esportes, das tradições. Então, são as 4 estações bem definidas. Aí, a escola é uma escola do programa IB. Eles têm esse programa IB, eles não têm as aulas APs, né? E os estudantes podem fazer desde uma aula até ter o certificado de IB, né? Então, eles dão essa opção. A Sofia comentou um pouquinho aqui da experiência dela do IB. Ela falou que as aulas são desafiadoras, ela tem um conteúdo muito maior, mas ela também contou que a aula dela de matemática, que ela antes acho que não gostava, né? Ou era mais difícil, quando ela começou a fazer aula IB, se tornou muito mais interessante para ela a matemática, né? Então, essa é uma das vantagens do programa IB. Então, a Cheshire é uma escola acadêmica, é uma escola preparatória para a universidade, tá? Um dos diferenciais é todo o suporte que a escola oferece para os estudantes, né? Então, o suporte acadêmico que ela fornece eles têm de todo dia, né? Eles podem ter o suporte. Eles têm também o suporte na escrita, né? O Writing Lab que eles comentaram. Aqui nos Estados Unidos, o sistema acadêmico deles exige muita escrita. É muita lição de casa, é muita apresentação. Então, uma das coisas que a gente vê, né, dos alunos brasileiros, a adaptação é deles fazerem toda essa lição de casa. Então, ter esse suporte para eles, né? Eles também têm o advisor, que acompanha eles durante todo o programa, né? Que é de 1 a 6, que eles falaram, desde das escolhas da matéria, das aulas, né? E eles têm até o suporte que é 1 a 1 ou 2 a 2, e até, né, vendo como as escolas, todos os detalhes, até como o estudante deve, né? Eles auxiliam até como ele deve estudar, como é que ele deve fazer as anotações, o que ele deve perguntar na sala, né? Então, todos os detalhes para que ele tenha o melhor desempenho acadêmico na escola. tá? A escola oferece o pedir, que é o pós-grad, que é um ano a mais, né? Então, o high school aqui é do 9º, 10º, 11º, 12º, o pedir seria mais um ano, né? Ela comentou que muitos alunos vêm quando ainda não estão prontos, né, para entrar na universidade, que querem ter a experiência do boarding, né, ainda não tiveram antes, que é o que a maioria das universidades são nos Estados Unidos. Então, os estudantes, eles vêm para se aprimorar na parte social, na parte acadêmica, e eles contam também com muito atletas, né, que vêm para se preparar para estar no nível atlético de universidade. Então, eu acho que o pedir é uma excelente opção a mais, né, para os nossos alunos brasileiros, para as nossas famílias brasileiras, nesse um ano que a gente está de pandemia, né, alguns alunos que não vão conseguir fazer o intercâmbio esse ano, eles têm a opção de vir para a escola já formados. Okay, I hope I got most of the information. Was a lot of information, but I give a highlight.
Good.
Okay.
This list shows the colleges and universities where our students last year were accepted, and you can see the wide range. Sophia is currently a senior going through the college process. And Sophia, I would love for you in Portuguese to speak a little bit about how the college counseling office works and what your experience has been in that process.
O ano atrás eu estava a começar a conhecer a minha counselor e falar com ela sobre a universidade, e eu não tinha nenhuma ideia do que queria fazer, onde queria ir, se eu queria estar nos Estados Unidos ou se queria ir para Portugal, ou não sabia nada. E ela ajudou-me tanto que eu agora tenho uma lista de 9 escolas que eu vou saber se entrei ou não daqui a um mês, porque ajudou-me a fazer tudo durante o verão e durante setembro e outubro, que eu agora já vou saber se entrei na universidade em um mês. E ela ajudou-me muito e ajuda todos os meus amigos. Eu tenho umas amigas que já sabem agora se vão a que universidade é que elas vão. Por isso é uma coisa que eu acho muito importante e me ajudou imenso.
Thank you. Next slide.
So we have a lot of offerings for fine and performing arts at our school, everything from theater to music, visual arts, and an art major program, which I'll talk about. For performing arts, I think earlier Sarah Lynn mentioned our Black Box Theater, and maybe you saw it in the video as well. We do 3 plays per year. So in the fall, there is a dramatic play. In the winter, a musical, and that's far and away the most popular with the students. Tons of students like to participate. That's a photo there of the students in Mamma Mia last winter. And you can get involved as an actor and performer, but you can also get involved as stage crew, sets, lighting, sound, lots of ways to get involved in the musical. And then in the spring, it's student-led theater. So in some way, the students are leading a part of that production, whether it's direction or writing, or in some way they're guiding the process. As far as music, about a third of our students participate in the music program. We have a variety of different ensembles that students can choose from, everything from an a cappella singing group to a jazz band, a rock band, something more like an orchestra band. Students who do participate in an ensemble are able to take advantage of individual lessons or small group lessons. For visual arts, lots of ways to get involved. We have an entire building dedicated to the visual arts. We have a lot of traditional mediums like drawing, painting, printmaking, ceramics, but then we also have more modern arts like digital imaging, animation, photography, digital photography. I actually think Sophia's dad is the teacher for that class. Maybe she'd like to speak to it a little bit. I think that's very popular with a lot of our students who don't consider themselves natural artists. A lot of students participate in digital photography for sure. And we have a special program for 12th graders called Art Major. That's for students who intend to go on to study art at the college level. That's where you choose a medium at the beginning of the year. You work directly with the director of our art program. You have a dedicated studio space, and you spend the year building a portfolio. At the end of the year, you have a show on campus of your work, and the director of that program works with each student on university placement to find the right program for them.
Our athletic program is extremely varied and robust. We have 27 different teams, varsity sports, junior varsity sports. Next slide. You can see all the different offerings we have. We encourage all of our students to participate in an after-school, what we would call an after-school activity, either competitive or non-competitive. And many of our students try these sports for the first time, yet we also have students who are extremely competitive, have been playing a particular sport for a number of years, and come to us because they plan to play at the in college or university. We have coaches who are very seasoned and experienced. And one of the advantages is that our coaches, many of them also teach students, so they know fitness and strength training. We have, you saw in the video, the tennis courts. We have recreational tennis. We also offer fencing and many community service activities. Corey? We have a variety of clubs and organizations, over 30 of them. They change every year depending on student interests. Sometimes students will start their own club. If they have a particular interest, they might have a friend who has that same interest, and then they work with a faculty member to start their own club. Students have specific club time during their school day. So clubs are not a replacement for athletics. You can do it all. And now we have time. Sophia, maybe you can just answer. I don't know, Natalia, if there's specific questions for Sophia. I have a couple more slides to show. I wanted Sophia to be able to share her experience and answer questions specific to her experience.
Sure. Hi, Sarah. This is Andrea here. I'll talk to Sophia a little, and I'll do a quick overview about the slides you just showed us. So, pessoal, olá, boa tarde. Eu ainda não tinha aparecido aqui, a Natália já me apresentou aí no início, né, da nossa apresentação. Para quem não me conhece, eu sou a Andrea, eu sou representante da 3W aqui no Brasil. Fico na cidade de São Paulo, e eu vou primeiramente fazer um resuminho aí dos últimos slides que a Sarah apresentou pra gente. Em seguida a gente vai bater um papo com a Sofia, ela já apareceu aí um pouquinho, mas a gente vai conversar um pouco mais com ela, né? Então, primeiramente, a gente viu aí algumas das universidades que os alunos da Cheshire entraram. Então, nós vemos aí novamente a importância dessa preparação para a universidade. Realmente é uma escola bastante acadêmica. Para um aluno que quer cursar a universidade depois nos Estados Unidos, ele estará muito bem preparado aí na escola. Ele vai ter um suporte realmente personalizado, né? Cada um aí com um plano de estudos diferente para alcançar os seus objetivos. E vimos também uma grande variedade de artes, né? De matérias relacionadas a artes. Então, para um estudante que deseja focar nessa matéria, ou até mesmo quer seguir carreira artística, é uma opção incrível, né? Nós vimos que a escola oferece aí 3 peças, entre peças e musicais, por ano, né? Então, os alunos podem tanto atuar nas peças, né, quanto trabalhar ali na parte técnica, né, do teatro, da peça, do musical. Então, a gente consegue abordar essas matérias de artes muito fortemente nessa escola, assim como música, né? E os alunos ainda podem também fazer aulas aí individuais ou em pequenos grupos de determinados instrumentos. Então, realmente, é uma escola que consegue dar bastante foco nisso. Tem um prédio somente para artes visuais, para toda a parte aí de desenho, de pintura, cerâmica, né? A Sofia depois compartilhei um pouquinho com a gente também como é que é a experiência dela em artes, vou questionar. Mas é uma escola que, além de tudo isso, tem um programa de 1 ano aí de artes, né? Para quem quer seguir carreira artística. E, obviamente, que eles têm todo o suporte também para seguir para a universidade depois. Assim como a parte de esportes. Então, a gente viu até nos slides anteriores o mapa da escola, realmente uma escola que tem uma infraestrutura muito grande, várias quadras, ginásios, e 27 times, né? Inclusive tem futebol também, que a gente sabe que é um esporte muito popular aqui no Brasil. Então é uma escola que também consegue dar um suporte muito legal, né, nos esportes. E como a própria Sarah comentou, muitos alunos acabam, têm a intenção de jogar depois na universidade. Então, se essa for a intenção aqui, a gente tem uma excelente opção de escola, né? E os clubes, né, que a gente sempre comenta dos clubes, atividades extracurriculares, serviço comunitário. Então, tudo isso a escola oferece aí com uma variedade muito grande. Sofia, nossa convidada especial, está por aí?
Sim.
Sim, muito obrigada, viu, pelo seu tempo e tirar uns minutinhos do seu dia, que deve ser super corrido, né, para participar aqui com a gente. Você já falou um pouquinho do IB, já comentou sobre a preparação para a universidade. Então, conta um pouco para a gente agora como que é o seu dia a dia, que horário você começa a estudar, até que horas aí vão os seus estudos, como é que é, assim, o seu dia a dia?
Então, agora este ano temos um dia assim um pouco diferente por causa do Covid e coisas assim, mas tipicamente as aulas começam às 8 da manhã e acabam às 3h30, mas agora eu acho que são das 10 às 13h45 e a coisa que eu gosto mais é que nós temos períodos durante o dia em que não temos aulas e podemos usar para estudar ou falar com amigos ou comer ou fazer qualquer coisa que precisamos de fazer, e eu acho que é muito útil. E também porque se não houver aquele período sem aulas, para mim é difícil algumas vezes estar atenta nas classes, por isso é uma coisa que eu gosto imenso. Quando vem a trabalhos de casa e coisa assim, depende das aulas e depende do dia, honestamente. Com as aulas do IB, às vezes há mais trabalho, mas também é ler ou fazer. Uma coisa que eu faço muito é, eu leio alguma coisa para inglês ou história ou coisas assim, e depois temos que responder ou falar sobre isso com as outras pessoas na classe, e eu gosto imenso disso. Mas os trabalhos de casa não são uma coisa que eu nunca me sinto que não tenho tempo para fazer isto, quase nunca me sinto assim, mas se tiver um projeto grande que tenho que fazer, que demora algum tempo, os professores ajudam muito, e também se eu precisar de mais tempo para fazer alguma coisa, quase todas as vezes é só mandar um e-mail para os professores, eles dizem, não faz mal, podes fazer isto em mais 2 dias ou qualquer coisa se precisar.
Que bom, é bom saber. Então, apesar de ser bem acadêmica a escola, você também consegue ter uma flexibilidade, períodos, né, livres, consegue se dedicar aos estudos, né, conversar com os amigos também é importante, né? Consegue fazer um bom aí, equilíbrio, né?
Uhum.
Legal. E conta um pouquinho pra gente como que é assim, o seu final de semana, que tipo de atividades você costuma fazer dentro e fora do campus?
Então, a maioria dos estudantes nos fins de semana ficam aqui no campus porque há tantas coisas para fazer. Algumas vezes temos noites de cinema que muitas pessoas gostam, temos jogos imensos, temos futebol americano, temos atletismo, tudo isso, e muitas pessoas gostam de ver isso. Também há teatro, há pessoas que gostam de cantar e vão com os amigos e toda a gente está a cantar, coisas assim. Também a escola tem algumas vezes nós vamos todos, temos oportunidades para ir a Nova York ou para ir para New Haven e ir para cidades maiores que há imensas coisas para fazer. Ou também, se ficamos em Cheshire, há imensos restaurantes e cafés aqui perto que se podem dar. E muitas pessoas também vão ao mercado e compram coisas para o resto da semana. E toda a gente faz isso juntos. Eu, com as minhas amigas e os meus amigos que moram aqui, vamos sempre, todos os fins de semana, fazemos alguma coisa. Há sempre alguma coisa para fazer.
Que legal. E como que é morar nos dormitórios, assim, da escola? Você divide o quarto ou com alguém?
Eu vivo com a minha família aqui no apartamento, mas estamos mesmo ao pé de um dormitório. Por isso, nós temos a nossa casa, mas também estamos sempre, todas as minhas amigas, a maioria delas, vivem aqui no campus, por isso estamos sempre juntas, é realmente uma comunidade de pessoas no Cheshire Academy, mas também as pessoas que vivem aqui. E antes do Covid podíamos ir nos quartos das outras pessoas e tudo isso. Agora menos assim, mas também há muitas coisas para fazer juntos.
Só por enquanto também, né? Já volta ao normal. E como que funciona assim os clubes? Você participa de algum clube?
Sim, eu faço serviço comunitário e é uma coisa que eu acho que é muito interessante. O último ano nós íamos aqui a uma igreja e ao fim do dia a igreja tinha muitos meninos que vinham aí e brincávamos com eles e coisas assim. É muito divertido, honestamente, e é uma coisa que eu gosto de fazer e muitas outras pessoas gostam de fazer. E também dávamos comida, agora estamos a fazer a mesma coisa, que obviamente é um bocadinho diferente, mas toda a escola gosta de participar. Nós temos muitos eventos de serviço comunitário que não sejam só do clubs, que sejam a escola inteira que participa, e é por isso que eu gosto imenso.
Ótimo. E em questão de esportes, você joga algum esporte?
Eu faço field hockey e também fiz atletismo os meus 3 anos antes deste. E gosto imenso porque dá uma oportunidade a falar com pessoas que se calhar não tens classes, não és muito amigo delas ou deles e não falam muito, mas dá uma oportunidade a falar com outras pessoas e conhecer pessoas novas e fazer alguma coisa que toda a gente gosta de fazer.
Que bom. Então, assim, oportunidade de fazer amigos, né? E sim, se ingressar ali na comunidade da escola não falta, né? Isso aí tem bastante opção.
Sim.
Ótimo, muito obrigada, Sofia. Natália, você quer fazer alguma pergunta para a Sofia? Algo que você gostaria de complementar?
Sofia, você tem alguma dica para futuros estudantes, né, de outros países, os estudantes brasileiros que têm interesse de ir para a escola? O que você falaria para eles, assim?
A minha dica é tentar fazer todas as coisas que puderes ou todas as coisas que interessam, porque é assim mesmo que se conhece outras pessoas e que se pode experienciar a escola e coisas assim. E outra dica é uma coisa que eu gosto de fazer. Aqui no Cheshire Academy, no meu tempo aqui, houve algumas pessoas do Brasil e quando elas vieram para a escola, a primeira coisa que eu fiz é falar com elas e depois é muito fácil fazer amigos assim, porque há muitas pessoas que são do Brasil ou Portugal ou de Espanha e sente-se, quando encontras uma pessoa que fala a mesma língua que tu falas, imediatamente são amigos e por isso, sim, essas são as minhas dicas.
Muito obrigada. Muito sucesso para você aí nos seus estudos e na entrada à universidade. Obrigada, Sofia.
Nada.
Okay.
We have a few more slides to talk about boarding and activities on campus. Living in the dorms, We have all of our dorms are single gender. Students typically have a roommate. And this year in COVID, we were able to spread everybody out. So students are in singles, but normally they would have a roommate. And we do divide the dorms by age as well, so that the younger students are together and then the older students are together. Next slide. Yeah. So we have a variety of activities. As I think Sophia may have mentioned, we are also in a location that is very easy to walk places on the weekends, walk to restaurants, Thai food, pizza restaurants, coffee shops, big grocery store. But we take advantage of our location, and we can offer a variety of trips to larger restaurants and to amusement parks, activities off campus to entertain students. We might go to Yale University to see a sporting event, or students may participate in a community service activity on the weekends. We also take students to visit colleges on the weekends. We very much encourage students to be leaders at Cheshire Academy, to learn what it's like to be a leader. And we offer a variety of ways for students to do that, to gain the self-confidence, to be a part of and a head in charge of maybe a group. We have, for example, student ambassadors who are students who help in the admission office. We have peer mentors, and they very much are a part of helping our new students on campus, making sure that they are not homesick and getting connected to other students and having a very positive experience. Safety, health, and wellness. I feel that this is a very big part of our program here at Cheshire Academy and our location. And I'd like to ask Corey to talk about being on campus as an international student advisor and how you work with our international students and make sure that their experience of being in what is a new and foreign location to them feels safe and secure. Next slide, Corey.
Oh, so hi. So campus safety and security. So as we mentioned in the beginning, Cheshire was just voted one of the safest towns in the area in the United States to live in. And again, I've been here now for 9 years, living here on campus with my family, my husband and 2 daughters. And my children attend the elementary public schools, and it really is a very special place. It's a beautiful town, quintessential New England, but it's very safe, and there's a lot to do all around us. As far as our particular campus, as you saw in the videos, it's quite large. There's lots of room to walk around and places to go just right here on campus. We do have security here, so we all feel very safe. We have security that monitors, walks the grounds, and just makes sure that everyone is feeling good. Our students feel secure. Our faculty who live here feel secure. And we do have a number of faculty who also live here on campus. Of course, we have them living in the dorms, overseeing our students there. So it's very much a family and community environment here. And I just think immediately when a student comes and their family comes to see it for the first time and to move in here on campus, they immediately feel that safety and that comfort. So it's quite something. We do have local police and hospitals very close by, which is very convenient. We do have a health center that is very actively involved with students once they enroll to ensure that they are getting all of the proper forms in to be cleared to live here on campus. It's led by the director of our health center, Deborah Bond, who has been here for a number of years, I believe 20 plus. So she has a lot of experience. She works with 2 other full-time nurses in our health center that's located right here on campus, actually right next to my house. And they are very involved in the care and wellness of all our students and all of our faculty who live here on campus. So they are available all the time. They're constantly checking in with students. If students don't feel well, they have a warm, comforting place to go. Our health center does have beds for students to be in, again, if they're not feeling well, so that they can be cared for there at the health center by everyone. We have a school counselor as well, a full-time school counselor who is here and actively involved in reaching out to students to let them know that she is also here if any student needs to speak to her for any reason. We have active health team meetings that is comprised of a number of faculty and our health team, our school counselor, also our director of diversity inclusion, which we have here on campus, who is very involved in the wellness and creating wellness activities for our students to participate in. But this health team meeting that we participate in, we have it once a week, and it's an opportunity for several of us to get together and really speak to each other if we feel a student is not doing well for some reason. So we immediately assess the situation and we create a team of people to reach out to the family, to consultants, to the student, so that that student feels really supported and feels as though and knows that we're here to help them in any way that we can to be successful and to be happy and to be healthy mentally and physically. So again, it's a real team effort, but the students, again, when they first come here, know right away that health and wellness is very important to our community.
Next slide. Great, that's a slide about our health center. And Natalia, I know that next up you will summarize. I have, Leo just wanted to close with a few comments about, because he is a dorm parent, about living in the dorms on campus. And he wanted to share also the alumni that he knows, recent alumni, and has worked with from Brazil. And would you like him to do that first before you summarize?
Let me summarize and then really quick, and then Leo can talk about it. So this is a lot of important information here. Então, eles falaram agora, né, um pouco do campus life, dos dormitórios, né? Os dormitórios, em geral, eles são duplos, então eles têm roommates. Esse ano, devido, né, à política do Covid, cada um tem o seu quarto individual, né? Então os estudantes estão na escola. Como a Sofia comentou, né, no final de semana, eles dentro do campus tem bastante atividade para eles fazerem, né? Ela falou de cinema, de música e teatro, mas a escola também organiza, né? Eles irem assistir, ir para Yale, assistir um esporte, assistir alguma peça de teatro. A Sofia comentou também, tem vários restaurantes na cidade, né? A gente falando de segurança, Cheshire, eles comentaram mais uma vez, foi uma das cidades mais seguras para se morar nos Estados Unidos, né? Outra coisa que a escola incentiva muito é a liderança dos estudantes, né? Então, ela dá várias oportunidades, desde o estudante ser, né, o ambassador que eles falam, é o estudante ajudar as famílias quando vão visitar os campos, a mostrar a escola, até os estudantes a auxiliar os estudantes novos, como funciona a escola, como estudar. Então, eles, né, também é bastante importante a liderança, né? E falando de segurança, né, a escola conta também... eles têm um segurança que monitora o campus da escola, né? Ter certeza que todo mundo está seguro. Eles comentaram também que tem vários professores que moram no campus da escola, no boarding, né? Então estão sempre olhando, vendo os alunos. A escola, centro de saúde, né? Dentro do campus, eles têm enfermeiras, dentro da escola, que vão estar sempre auxiliando o estudante, e eles comentam aqui, desde o início, né, do programa, o estudante e a família já percebe a preocupação da escola com o aluno, tanto na saúde física quanto mental. Eles estão sempre em contato, eles têm reuniões mensais, que eles conversam sobre os alunos, e eles percebem, né, que se o aluno precisa de algum suporte, né, da saúde mental ou física, eles vão proporcionar todo o suporte que o estudante precisa, né? Então, esse é do resumo. Léo, if you want to share with us.
Oh, frozen. Leo, are you there?
Hey, pardon.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. I was trying to figure out how to unmute. So I just wanted to make something, sort of say something that to me is very obvious. There's a great deal of reflection and planning that goes into the creation of our community life program year after year. It's not a piece that, you could leave sort of, to hope for the best and put really nice people with nice kids together. Rather, there are so many voices that go into the creation of this every single year. We have, people talked about safety, talked about leadership, how the students who run for these positions of leadership and get them so become integral to the structure of the dorms, how they can help the dorm parents deliver the curriculum that is created to disseminate in an age-appropriate and gender-appropriate way, week after week, some days, day after day, to students that have to do with issues of, anything from academic success to personal hygiene, to community discussions, to issues that have to do, as somebody else said, with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it really is a pleasure. And I do work as a dorm parent, and I look forward to those interactions with the students, because we all feel very much that we have this higher calling to be transformational in their lives. And so that is done, fortunately, with the support of the Office of Community Lives, as well as the entire leadership team. Always the mission of the school really guides all of our efforts. So when sometimes the perception that sending a kid to boarding school could be a scary proposition, we did talk about the safety and well-being and how students very quickly have one another and then other adults with whom they can relate. There's great comfort in knowing, from the other side of things, and this is how I'm going to get into the alumni portion of what I'm saying, how transformational and how powerful the experience that the students who attend the Cheshire Academy has become. There's a number of Brazilian, of course, not enough in my opinion, but I would like to see more students. I personally have taught a few of them. The most recent one was a graduate of the class of 2018, Enrique Melo. He came from Aracaju, and he went to Trinity College, where he's now, starting in college. And as we go back, we've had a few, we had Eduardo Koshima, class of 15. We have Guilherme Feltre, who now lives in Sao Paulo. And he was at the Castanho High School in Brazil before, and he came for that PG year, and he really had a transformative experience. And then there are many more. And what we do in my office right now is to make sure that that gigantic network of 55, give or take, 100 alumni who are in many cases very well established in any industry or field that you could imagine, have their doors open to our students and to our young alums as well. So when they go through Cheshire Academy, as they graduate, they really enter an incredibly beneficial network. If we had more time, I could tell you specific cases where people have changed the world with initiatives working together, or have really grown in a particular area or an industry and went on to do business together. So it's a very healthy network. We have a number of people in our office who are dedicated to fostering those connections. And if, at another time, if you guys want to hear more, of course, I could do that, but it's getting late, so I don't want to talk anymore. So that's that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Natalia, thank you for this opportunity. We're open to taking questions.
Andrea is going to just talk really briefly, Sarah, how the application works through 3W. And then we're going to be open for questions. It's going to just take a minute or two.
Bom, pessoal, vamos falar aí rapidamente sobre o processo operacional, né? Para quem quiser se matricular, tem um estudante que deseja se matricular, como funciona, né, esse processo. Na 3W nós fazemos essa parte operacional em 2 etapas, tá? Então, primeiramente, nós fazemos todo o processo de aceitação do aluno. Nós coletamos documentos que são essenciais para avaliar o perfil do aluno, para a gente saber se ele pode ou não ser aceito pela escola, tá? Então, nós temos um pré-application, que nós chamamos. Esse pré-application tem 7 páginas, 2 páginas com dados aí gerais do aluno, uma carta de intenção, é uma carta contando aí por que ele quer fazer esse programa, quais são os objetivos com esse programa, e 2 questionários de recomendação do professor de inglês e do professor de matemática aqui do Brasil. Após isso, nós também precisamos do histórico escolar com uma tradução simples. Então, a gente pega o histórico escolar dos últimos anos aí do aluno, todas as notas, e fazemos uma tradução simples, né? Porque aqui no Brasil a gente utiliza notas em números e a gente precisa fazer a tradução para letras, para a escola conseguir ler o histórico escolar desse aluno. Nós precisamos de um teste de inglês, né? O teste ELTS é o teste aplicado nas agências, mas se o aluno tiver outro teste, né, às vezes já fez um Cambridge, um TOEFL, a gente pode também enviar para a escola e fazemos uma entrevista por Skype em inglês. Tá? Essa entrevista geralmente dura 10 minutinhos, entre 10 e 15 minutos, é um bate-papo com a escola realmente para que eles possam conhecer aí esse aluno, né, e entender melhor os objetivos dele. Feito isso, a gente já recebe a carta de aceite, né? Então, se o aluno for aceito pela escola, nós recebemos a carta de aceite e esse é o momento que damos continuidade ao preenchimento do application, que nós chamamos, né? Que é toda a documentação que a escola precisa receber desse aluno. Então, toda a parte de saúde, então aí vamos um pouco mais a fundo detalhadamente sobre a saúde do aluno, carteirinha de vacinação, dentre outros formulários que precisam ser assinados e preenchidos. Nós fazemos um call operacional, seja com o aluno ou com o agente, para sanar qualquer dúvida em relação ao application. A gente faz o passo a passo do application, então é uma documentação relativamente extensa, mas é tranquilo, estaremos juntos aí em todas as etapas, inclusive no início, né? Então, você agente aí que está nos assistindo, tendo algum aluno interessado, contate-nos. Eu, a Natália, estamos sempre à disposição para ajudá-los com mais detalhes, fazer um atendimento aí em conjunto, né? Seja presencial para quem for aqui de São Paulo ou online para quem for de outro estado. Entramos com mais detalhes da escola e ajudamos em todo o processo aí do início ao fim, né? E a Natália, como ela mencionou, está lá em Los Angeles, no head office da 3W, né? Então, é claro que a Cheshire está em Connecticut, mas ainda assim ela está nos Estados Unidos e ela também dá suporte para todos os alunos em programa. Então, tanto nós da 3W quanto a Cheshire e todo o seu time está sempre à disposição para dar suporte aos nossos alunos.
Sarah, I just would like to also ask you if we still are in a pandemic year, and if there is any change for the application deadlines for 2021 fall, or if you have the calendar, if it be the same, you have or might have any change. I know it's very, things are early, but if you have any comments about that.
Yes, thank you for asking that. So for the application, we are not requiring any standardized testing this year. So normally we would ask students to take an SSAT, or if it was a student applying for, say, a junior year or a postgraduate year, we might look at a PSAT or an SAT. We are waiving all standardized testing this year. In lieu of that, instead of that, we are asking for students to show us a writing assignment that they may have done in English class or history class. we know that students' education right now is disjointed. I know here in the United States, some students are in school, some students have been home still all fall. And so we are being more lenient with recommendations. If a student would rather have a teacher from last year write a recommendation because they haven't yet met their teacher face-to-face this year, we are okay with that. And we would work with you. We would work with the agent or consultant, who's working with that family to determine what is best. It'll be individual for each student, I think, this year. Does that help answer your question?
Yes. And regarding the calendar for next year?
Yeah, so our deadline is February 1st, but I do expect that we will be rolling admissions after that, just given, and we're not the only school, many boarding schools right now are reporting a delay in families moving forward with this process because, everything in people's lives feels so chaotic. So I do expect if families do not get their application into us by February 1st, we will still accept it, and we will still be accepting students through the spring. Our school calendar, if you're working with any student right now who is interested in starting immediately, we do have spaces available for a January start date. And that date is students arrive to campus on January 9th and 10th for our second semester. They will quarantine on campus, doing remote classes in their rooms and in their dorms with the students that they live with. And then switching to in-person learning 2 weeks after that time. At the moment, we do have a shortened break in March with the idea that our last school day would be at the end of May. I do not yet have the calendar for 2021, 2022, but we typically start at the end of August. Usually that last week of August is when families arrive to campus, or students arrive to campus. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Does anybody has any other question? I think it was a very complete presentation with lots of good information. I don't know, Lucas, if you're still there. We do have a student that is current in the process of filling up the application. So he's interested in Cheshire Academy. He did the 3W did an interview. So Lucas, are you still there? He said he was joined for a little bit. He had classes online. But if no more questions, I want to say thank you for all the team, Sarah, Leo, Christine, everybody for your time and all the information. And I think.
Well, thank you. And we want to thank you, everybody who was on this and stayed and listened to our presentation and asked questions. And we look forward to learning more about all of you and to a partnership with Cheshire Academy.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Obrigada,
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.